and then YouTube. So let's try it here together. There we go. We can see Autoloader version 0.1 by PLK, serving the ELF loader. Autoload finished, closing the app, and boom, right there it is. Hey, what is up everybody? So there has been some more developments that I want to share with you since we had the release yesterday of the YouTube jailbreak, and that was version 1.2. So in the video that I shared with you yesterday, I walked you through setting this up, and then we had to do things like sending over a couple of payloads manually in order to get ETA hen loaded. Well, that process has now been automated, and there is now this autoloader. And if we go over to the GitHub project here, what you'll find is that it says that this is a PS5 Y2JB autoloader, and it automatically loads the kernel exploit, the ELF loader, your ELF payloads, and JavaScript files. Now this does support PlayStation 5 firmwares 4.03 all the way to 10.01 because obviously this is a fork of Y2JB. Now there are some instructions in here on how to use it, and I will say if you're familiar with some of the other projects, especially the PS5 Lua loader, then it follows a very similar pattern here. Basically, you create this directory and you put in your different ELF files and bin files, and then you define a file called autoload.txt, and then just list the files you want to load, one file name per line. Put it in the root directory in one of these locations. So it is important to note that the priority order is the root of the USB drive, then the internal drive, and then finally the YouTube splash screen folder. Now it does say here in the setup instructions that if you're jailbroken, you can set it up manually, but there are no pre-made backups yet, so this is only for those of us that already have an existing jailbreak. Now if we go ahead and head over to the releases page here, there is a 0.1 release, and they do have the download 0.dat file. Now previously, I know a number of folks have been going ahead and copying this over manually, but you don't have to do that anymore. So again, going back over to the releases here, we're going to download the download 0.dat, and we're going to go ahead and copy that over just using PS5 Explorer. You can download this and install it. It's just an easier way to get the file copied over. Okay, so I just connected a USB drive, and I'm just going to paste that download 0.dat file into that folder. Okay, great. Now you may want to add the PKG of PS5 Explorer to this if you don't already have it installed, but then let's go ahead and switch over to the PlayStation 5. Okay, so back over on the PlayStation 5, I just rebooted this system, and I'm not jailbroken or anything like that. Now yesterday we replaced the Lua game disk that we were using with Y2JB, so I'm just going to go ahead and run the manual version of this now. So I'm going to go ahead and run the jailbreak. Okay, so just like yesterday, I have my IP address here as well as the port number, and then we are going to send the laps.js. Again, this is the manual version of doing it. Once this finishes up, we now have an ELF loader that is running. And then finally, I am supplying the beta version of etahen.elf on port 9021, and we'll press inject payload on that one. And right there we go, we've got our cased up at 1.64, and this is a 9.60 PlayStation 5. Okay, so now we are going to use PS5 Explorer to copy a file over. Again, if you haven't installed that PKG yet, you can just come right over here to settings and then debug settings and install it just right there. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and go over to PS5 Explorer here, and we're going to go root access, and we're going to scroll down to the mount folder, and your USB should be connected here, so we'll go to USB 0. And you should see the download 0.dat. Go ahead and press the triangle button on that, and we are going to select copy, and then circle again, and we're going to go down to where it says user, and then we're going to go into the download folder here, and right there is a folder you should have. If you don't have it, just go ahead and create it. It's PPSA 01650, and inside of it you'll see that we have the older version of the download 0.dat, and what we're going to do is we're going to press triangle here, and we are going to take the option to paste, and we are going to replace the existing file. Okay, so since we're already jailbroken, go ahead and reboot your console and meet me back over on the PC. Okay, so on the USB drive that we just mentioned, let's go ahead and create a brand new folder in here, and we're going to give it the name of PS5_autoloader. And then we're going to go inside of that, and let's go ahead and create a new file here, and this is going to be a text document. We're going to give this the name of autoload.txt. Now let's go ahead and open that file, and inside of that file we're just going to place one line, and that is going to be called etahen.elf. We're going to go up here to File and then Save. Now as far as the version goes of etahen, you can always grab the latest beta. It's over here at PKG Zone and etahen public test, and there is a pinned message here, and it is this version right here, which expires on November the 25th. So go ahead and download that. Once downloaded, just go ahead and drag and drop that file into the folder PS5 Autoloader. Okay, so yours should look just like this. We'll just leave the download 0.dat on here just in case, but go ahead and plug that into your PlayStation 5. Okay, so my PlayStation 5 has been rebooted. As you can see, I don't have debug settings or anything like that. And thankfully, I don't have to use this overpriced Lua game disc anymore. Now I should be able to jailbreak just by going to Media and then YouTube. So let's try it here together. There we go. We can see Autoloader version 0.1 by PLK. Excellent, excellent, excellent. Serving the ELF loader. Autoload finished, closing the app, and boom, right there it is. etahen 2.4b, and that is absolutely amazing, and that is super quick. So yeah, no more having to mess with sending over multiple payloads, gathering all of that stuff. And you now don't have to use that really messy Lua implementation because it requires a disk drive. So yeah, thanks to Gajina, definitely a lot of folks are going to be able to enjoy this in the future. Anyways, thank you so very much for watching, and I'll see you on the next one. Michael, out!